himself, so an issue there. But you get like all your power at what you have. We are lower than we normally are. We see a deep dive into turn one out of Connor Zilic. Made it look easy.
Takes second away from Bell. And that reminds me, in his career, 3 road course starts, including today. So far, 2 poles, 2 wins. However, if you dig a little deeper, you will see that in both of those victories, Watkins Glen last fall, earlier this season at Circuit of the Americas, they faced some kind of problem, had penalties in both. So what we've seen adversity-wise so far for him today, just not a big deal at all. He's running second behind Gibbs.
Parker, I have a question.
Yep.
If you could talk to Connor Zilic right now, what would you tell him as he chases down that 19?
Calm down, breathe. And that's what Marty Lindley, his crew chief, and I were talking earlier today, and I said, what's the plan? He said, unlike at Coda, I want him to just take it easy. We got the speed. Don't need to drive like you did at Coda. Cam, do you have more on the 25?
Yeah, that 25 of Harrison Burton came into this race +5 to the good on that playoff grid and now has gotten to a little bit of a free fall. Things will continue to shake up as we continue through this race, but Harrison told me you really need discipline and adaptability to be successful on road courses. You also have to have a good car. He does not have that right now. We saw the spin out. He says, I absolutely have no rear grip. In fact, I am wrecking trying to pass other cars.
They nearly missed the race at Coda, but he got in. They ran long, got stage points, and those 10 points have been huge for them as Kim talks about where they've been in relation to that cut line. Going to have to draw up a nice strategy today as well. Zilic just got the fastest lap of the day. That would pay a point later on. He's second right now to Ty Gibbs. At 8th, however, Ty Gibbs out front, but right in his hip pocket, Connor Zilic and Christopher Bell.
Connor had the opportunity to get a little dirty there like they had at the start of the race. He kept it clean, Ross.
That's right. Yeah, I mean, a good opportunity with 9 to go to just race it out here. Very tough, though. These Xfinity cars, Parker, the brakes are already getting worse. The tires are really hot. Trying to rev match your downshifts and get your upshifts right through these S's is really tough.
It's incredibly tough. And you talk about the brakes, I think that's going to be a real topic today. We heard a lot of drivers struggling with it in practice and qualifying, and already some teams and drivers talking about some brake fade. And when you're at the front of the field like these guys are, pushing these cars as hard as you can, those pedals are already fading, going further than you want. You're just trying to extract speed.
Well, really hard to tell, guys, but the 19, there's something on the left side, left front of his nose. It looks like debris to me on a brake opening. It could be put there by the team, but there's something over there that could be blocking one of those openings.
You referenced 9 to go. We talked stage 1 here. We're coming out of the corner. This will be 8 laps remaining when we hit the start-finish line. We're going to close pit road in 6 laps. You always do it 2 laps prior to the end of the stage. So for there's drivers that are looking to flip the stage, pit before the stage ends and try to cycle to the front when everyone else pits under caution. You got to start thinking about that and who's going to play that game. And if you're not up here close to the front, you might have to do it with 3 to go, something we'll have to continue to watch. But right now, the racing for the top spot is just so good.
Ty threw the block down into 1, covered there, and then was able to cover into 2 and 3 as Connor tried to look for an opening. Once again, keeps it clean. He's just trying to get beside him. Might get there looking into 4, not quite.
Just want him looking for Connor. He's just wanting Ty to look up in the mirror, and you get some air on your nose like we talked about. Heat is a big thing here. Following a car, even one car, is going to make your car, all of your components be hotter.
There's some subtle differences in it.
Hip check.
And I just love listening to the work going on behind the wheel.
Christopher Bell is so careful down in the corner, turn 4, gets his rights on the apex, curbing on the right side. A little bit of throttle touch, brakes traction, hits the 0-0.
Sammy Smith back to 10th. Coming to 4 laps to go. 20 is Brandon Jones. Great effort for Sage Karen in the 53. Seems like every time he shows up and runs on the road, he finds his way into the conversation.
This is so awesome for Joey Gase Racing and Sage Karen to be up at where he's been. He was fast in practice, great in qualifying. To be up in the top 15 and even start to flip this stage if they choose to stay out and have some serious stage points for that 53 team. That's really cool to see, Ross. So as someone who has driven some cars like that, a little rub there on the right front. That's not always easy to do, to take a small team up front.
He didn't get there without some contact, but Sage does deliver speed in every team he drives for. And for the Xfinity Series, he does go between teams in the second half of the field wherever he can find an opportunity. Reminds me of you and me in our career. We just want to race, and he continues to elevate. Whatever car he gets in, it goes forward. Now, what we all have to try to learn is how to do it with less contact.
Suarez going for 13. He makes the pass. What a drive from the back to driver 9. And with 4 to go on the stage, coming to 3, you'll start seeing some drivers come down pit road if you want to flip the stage. Here are the leaders through the stadium section.
You think Marty got a hold of Connor on the radio finally and got him to calm down? Just, hey, it's not worth it. Clearly the 19 is not going to give anything to you. The 19 got this stage. You showed you could drive back up to him, or is the 88 having to nurse something inside of the car?
Well, we saw how loose he was at times, and I really saw him sliding through that race car quite often, and I just have to wonder, especially on road courses with these Xfinity cars, when you